Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joe, back with another video, back with another stall converter, ready to figure this thing out. This is a brand new 8-inch 4500 stall, just getting ready to drop it into the dark. Now, before I do that though, I thought it'd be a good idea to talk a little bit about why I'm going with a 4500 stall. If you watched the last race day video, you saw my previous stall converter was a 3500, and I was not happy with my 60-foot times. The main thing with this is the converter was too tight and it was not letting the engine build up any sort of power before we left the line. Now why is that? Well, with this new build, that 530 horsepower motor, it has a large cylinder head, it has a large camshaft, a large intake, and it's a 360 cubic inch motor. It's not building the airspeed that it needs to really carry that power through until after 4,500 RPM. So this stall converter should really help me out there. I'm going to show you guys a bit more about what I'm talking about on the dyno chart. This is one of the bonus things about dyno tuning your engine, is you get all this information and then you can really tailor your car to your engine and make it as efficient as possible. So let's check out that dyno chart. So here we see our dyno chart. Now if you follow this guy here, this is our torque line. And when we were on the dyno, we actually weren't even starting the pulls until 3,800 RPM. Now we knew that this motor was not going to make power till later in the RPM band because of those large heads, cam, and intake, and that was 100% right. So where we actually trying to launch the car was back here even at around 35, and you can see when we started the pull, the torque even dipped before it started to really ramp up. You can see it did reach peak torque at about 5,000 or 5,100 RPM, and the general rule of thumb is you want about 500 RPM less than peak torque for your launch in a drag race scenario. So that brings us right down to that 4,500 line where we want to launch the car at. That'd be excellent. We'd be launching at around 450 foot-pounds of torque, a little under 400 horsepower, but you can see if we launch there, it's all up from there. That next 500 RPM of torque to peak, and then horsepower all the way through after that up to where we'll be shifting. We did rev this thing out to 66, 67, but I set the chip at 65 just because it is a stock bottom end and I do not want to blow it up. But if we launch back here, it's all uphill from there. So let's get some fluids in this thing. There's our converter right there. It's just drinking some of that fluid down. I always fill them with about a liter or so. Some guys say it's not necessary, but it's not gonna hurt it, so I always do anyway. I'm also going ahead with this Lucas automatic transmission fluid. I've been using this stuff for a while. Semi-synthetic, sure shift. I don't know what the hell that is, but it says it's designed for racing applications, supposed to keep the heat down. I haven't had any problems with it, but hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys are using. I'm always interested to hear what other guys are doing and using, so do let me know. So if you can, try to take a look and see where the pump will engage the converter. It looks like mine's sitting like that. So I'll put it up and try to get it to go in like that, and then push it back and on. Okay, there you go. You can see we got that guy set back in. Sometimes you gotta spin them. I really had to work this one to get it on. But you can see it's back in about an inch from the surface. That'll allow us to bring the bell housing up to the block and then attach to our flex plate. Okay, I hope you can see that there. I now got the transmission mated up using the dowel pins that are in the block. It's really a good way to do it is to get the transmission going, get it on the right angle, get it up against the block. You never want to pull it into the block using the bolts. Get it on the dowels, it'll slide in. You can see that our converter is in the right spot. Got it lined up with the proper holes. I paint marked the flywheel before I took it out to make sure it would go back in. So we're all good now. Now I just got to start bolting it all back together. Okay guys, we're back a couple days later. Got everything completely bolted back together. I got fluid in the trans, ready to fire it up again. One thing I thought I'd let you guys know before I back it out of the garage, I'm actually gonna fire up and then put it into neutral. That will actually engage the pump, and then you can make sure the converter is full. If you just warm it up like in park and then you put it in gear, you'll end up having to throttle the pedal a bunch, and that's actually filling the converter up. So I'll just do that to make sure the converter is full before we back her out. But it's a nice day out, so it's gonna be a great day for a test drive. Let's get it out of the garage. when I pulled the car out, I actually noticed the tach wasn't working, and my electric fan that I got in the front there didn't kick on even after when it got hot. Ended up having to chase some electrical stuff, just a couple grounds. They were tied together. I'm learning more and more about wiring. I'm probably going to learn a bunch more this winter. I am planning on moving that battery to the trunk, so I'll really dive into it there. But I cleaned up a couple grounds. It's all warmed up now. I'll show you guys this too. I got the new GoPro mount inside the car, right in between the seats. I'll probably take the console lid off there. But I got the GoPro mount there now. Let me know if you guys like this footage over the race day footage where I had it on the back window. It kind of gave you a back seat kind of view. This one will be much more forward. So we'll try out the new GoPro. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, 4500 stall on the streets. Let's give it a go. Got quite a few hills in my neighborhood too, so this will be a pretty good test for it. See how it does. It already seems looser. Yeah, it's definitely looser. Went up to like 3 grand there and could feather it. Oh great, there's the cops. Perfect. And there's another cop behind us right now. Oh my god, this is perfect. So for a nice cruise, man. I'm literally in between 2 cop cars right now. I'm just feathering it around. It seems to be going up to about 2,500 in the flat. Just realized I still got my race numbers all over the car too, so.
Oh, that sounds fast.
It is fast. Oh. Race day on Sunday, dude. Cool, right on. Oh, you gotta love it when they appreciate it, right? You can definitely like just rev the engine in drive up to like 3 grand, 3,500. It'll just rev. That's pretty cool actually. Yeah, starting's like, it wants about 3 grand. Tunnels, gotta love tunnels. Fine on the highway, right where it was before, 3,000 RPM. My speedo's not totally correct. I'm probably doing like 50, probably about 50, maybe 55. Seems to be fine. And you can rev it a little bit. It does, you can't feel it moving, but still a little loose in there. Still a little loose up to like 45, so I think the stall is probably right where we want it. 4500. Oh yeah, you can really feel it go loose there. This thing's gonna flash nice. That flashed to like 45, almost 5 grand. Oh, it's gonna be killer at the track. This will be the real test. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't like hills. It'll definitely just rev up to like 4 grand. Ah, my neighbors are gonna love this. Quick stall check here, so yeah, it seems about 4,500 started cranking the tires, so it's where we want to be. Okay, so that test drive went excellent. I'm really stoked on this new converter. I think it's going to give us the 4,500 RPM that we need, and driving around town it was totally fine. I'm just probably going to try to maybe avoid some of those more hilly areas, just because it does want to rev up to 3,500, 4,000. So that's just something I'll just watch out for the future. But the real test is going to be the next track day, and I do have another race coming up, so do stay tuned for that. That will be the next video. So thanks again for watching, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share the video. Thanks for watching.